above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony. Find the defendant guilty.
It was a moment long awaited by Floyd's family.
See him handcuffed and walk out of that courthouse like my brother was handcuffed. I told him he has no more power. He's not in control anymore. My brother is in control.
The images of Chauvin pinning Floyd to the pavement with his knee on Floyd's neck while he gasped out that he couldn't breathe triggered worldwide protests and calls for police reform. The guilty verdict was greeted with jubilation mixed with sorrow across the city of Minneapolis.
We don't celebrate a man going to jail. We would have rather George be alive. Amen. But we celebrate that because young people, white and black, some castigated, many that are here tonight, marched and kept marching and kept going.
President Biden welcomed the verdict, saying Floyd's murder ripped the blindfolds off the problems with race and policing in the U.S.
The guilty verdict does not bring back George. But through the family's pain, they're finding purpose. So George's legacy will not be just about his death, but about what we must do in his memory.
Crowds gathered at the spot where Floyd's death had been witnessed and filmed, shocking the world. It's the first time in the state of Minnesota that a white police officer involved in the death of someone while on duty has been convicted, let alone convicted of murder. Ethan Laverick, Euronews.
That there is an acknowledgement of systemic racism when it comes to policing in America. Just about 16 kilometers away from the Chauvin trial, a young man was also killed by police, Dante Wright, within the past few days here in the United States. And many are waiting to see how that will shape out after he was shot and killed by a police officer, Jim Potter. And so now many are looking forward to see what happens in this case, where you have another young black unarmed man killed by a police officer. There are those who look in the past and look at other cases, such as Breonna Taylor, who was killed in March of last year as she was just in her home by police. And those police officers are still on the force, some of them getting book deals, in fact. And so many are wondering whether or not this Chauvin case is a one-off, or whether or not this is an indication of a change in the way that people look at policing in America, police policies in America, and the disparities between the way that some communities are policed more than others. So again, we're starting to see some people who are very happy about the Chauvin case, of course, but again, there are those who are a little bit too cautious in trying to express too much happiness or hope, because there have been so many cases where police have walked free after killing